Okay, you weren't appointed to, or just elected? All right. So maybe we've only done one appointment.
Tomorrow is just not too anything.
Exactly, that's right. I think I'm the only, I'm trying to, I think I'm the last one who's appointed, and nobody.
Fair enough. But in any case, people may have to, rather than having to come to a public meeting and not know anything about anything, we meet with them and we give them our brochures, COE, migrant services, technology, some of the general functions.
If you have a teacher from some district apply, then we can screen them off the bat.
And we can help them realize that not so much about their job.
I'm just deciding, could we just say the person will decide within the district, which includes Central Union High School and Johnson Elementary School?
No, because Central Union High School District includes other districts.
Okay.
We'll get the geographic area correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
All right, so you're going to have a meeting with any interested candidates.
Altogether, if there are 2 or 3 or 4, they can all come. We'll tell them a little bit about what Angie does and what Todd does in Damon area and Lisa's area, my area. And then they can ask questions. Then they can come here and you have a set of questions that have been used in the past. We won't give these to them.
Right.
I mean, Leanna and I were both appointed. In both cases, it was 5 applicants.
And you'll remember about that process that is done in open session. And I think what we do
Well,
is
we give them a choice.
we ask the candidates to wait outside. They have the right to be in here, but out of courtesy.
We did one with Mr.
Right.
Well, Mr. Carmen, Mr. Alaska. Okay, then if that is the board's desire, that's what we'll do. Let's go for number 13, approval of board meeting dates. We have our options here.
Sorry, it's taken because I voted for the one meeting a month last time, but we didn't go to one meeting a month. And this is first, I think, someone can have 2 meetings a month. That should be respected, and it's only the month of September and October that we want to use that.
But somebody feels strongly about
So
it.
I'm going to break form and move the 2 meetings a month.
Further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 14, approval of resolution of child development contracts. Anyone want to comment?
We do this every year. Give a resolution.
I move to approve the resolution for child development contract.
This is the one we need a roll call.
Yes, we do.
Second. Further discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. O'Malley?
Aye.
Mrs. Belcher? Aye. Mrs. Major?
Aye. Mr. Strong? Thank you. Carried. Approval of revisions to uniform complaint policy.
Those were highlighted, and Lisa again was prepared to deal with this here. And these are required changes by CD, California Department of Education. All districts need to do this, including county offices. So we're presenting those to you for approval, and then these will send it out to CD.
Thank you. Any comments from the board?
I move the approval.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have our IBC CalPERS 2-year additional credit service.
We've done this before. This is their open handshake campaign.
Oh, I'm I'm sorry, Cynthia.
Yeah, this is the sunshine, 2 weeks.
I think we have any questions, if you have any questions,
Questions? Right, we will go to number 17, approval to create a self-insurance fund for retiring individuals.
We'd like to make a minor accounting change. In the past, we've accounted for our retiree benefits in the special reserve fund in our financial statements. While they're in the special reserve fund, we don't get credit under the way the auditors and GASB looks at our retiree benefits. So we want to move those funds into what's called a self-insurance fund. The same kind of structure we have for our workers' comp benefits right now and our dental vision. So it would just be a different fund in our financial systems. But since we don't have one set up, we're authorized to create one to create a self-insurance fund for the retired benefits. And then we're also asking you at that same time you create it to authorize us to make that transfer of the balances in our special reserve and put them in the special reserve fund. And then what will happen is you won't show in this year's financial statements, which closes on June 30th, but for next year's financial statements, really the audit doesn't actually show up in our regular day-to-day financials. But we'll get credit for funds we've set aside for retiree benefits to offset our retiree liability. It's a minor accounting change, but when GASB 45 is set up and required. We can leave our funds in the retiree benefit fund, we just won't get credit.
And then credit, say that again?
It's just credit, so we've done, if we get an actuarial study that says that we have a $10 million liability, right? Right now, it'll show that we have a $10 million liability. It won't show that we put $2.3 million down against that liability. We only owe 7.7. It'll say we owe $10 million. And oh, by the way, we have $2 million in this other account, and the board may choose to offset retired liability. So, and the difference here is that the special reserve fund, under normal circumstances, can be used for anything. Okay? We, on the other hand, have been specifically charging our programs for retiree benefits and have been designating them for that purpose. So for us, this really is just an accounting change. But say we had just been accumulating money for the heck of it, okay, not with that specific purpose in mind for any board contingency, then you might want to consider whether or not it would be prudent to move these funds into this self-insurance fund. In this case, though, since this is the sole purpose we've been accumulating those funds, it's just a strictly accounting change, not really a policy change. Yeah, and then going forward, right, at some point going forward, we want to look at possibly putting those funds into a trust. And one of the advantages of putting those funds into a trust is that, well, better for the employees, they're guaranteed to have those monies. But also the trustee has a wider range of investment options available to them, and they can yield a greater return. And that's advantageous to us because if we're getting more money back on our investments, then we have to put less money in. So that's the second step that we'll want to take during the upcoming year is to find the trust that we like and make a decision.
Any questions? We need an action on this? Any motion?
I move to approve creation of the self-insurance fund for retirees.
that includes transferring the current funds that we have.
That was the same as the Yes. Further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we need approval to execute the notice of completion for the Panther Administrative Center.
Something the board does at the general completion of a project, we still have a punch list, if they're called for 8 or 10 items that still need a little bit of minor attention, and that's so that we can occupy the building.
The man back there could do that.
We're taking care of that. It's a short list, it's eight items, and